What's up, guys? This is Rob. Welcome back to Rule of Two Review, and today it's that release date we've all been waiting for. Well, maybe I should say it's the release date that I have been waiting for. If you've been following Rule of Two Review for any length of time, going back to right up before the original, the first versions of Watch Dogs came out in May of this year, you know that I was a pretty big supporter of the Wii U version. Once we found out about the delay, which really sucked, of the Wii U version, I still had decided that I was going to go ahead and wait because I believe in the potential of the gamepad for that universe, for the hacking idea, for whatever it is that Aiden has to do within that game. And so I've been very proud to say, hey, I'm just going to hold off, even though I super want to play this game, and I'm going to wait for the Wii U version. And it's been a crazy, tumultuous, rocky road just to get to the announcement of the freaking release date. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like once the actual game comes out and it's in my freaking hands, and anyone else who's been waiting for the Wii U version finally has a chance to play it. It's like, it's going to seem like a dream. But nonetheless, here we are. I said for the last many months that I wasn't going to make a Watch Dogs video for a long time, but now today we finally got the confirmation of the US release date and the UK release date of Watch Dogs on the Wii U, and it is officially November 18th here in America, the United States, for Watch Dogs Wii U. It is also November 21st in the UK. So the game got two different release dates officially. Finally, this game is going to be coming. It's a crazy big deal. Like I said, I've been very happy to wait for it and very hyped for the game to come out. But I'll tell you what, there's been a lot going on with Watch Dogs on Wii U and Ubisoft, and a lot of recent public statements and all this hubbub and BS been going on. So there's kind of a little bit more that factors into the game releasing right now, not to mention some of the initial information that first leaked about the US release just a couple of days ago. So, as it tends to be with a lot of my videos, there's a couple different angles that I kind of can and want to approach this from. First off, I'm going to start on the positive side because that's just really the way I prefer to be. You know, I'm really goddamn excited that this game is finally coming. You know, I was excited for Watch Dogs from the get-go. And, you know, being a Nintendo fan and someone who's a Wii U fan, I was excited at the idea of crossing this very technology, tablet, and hacking-related gameplay mechanic with the gamepad for the Wii U. It's like they were made for each other. So, you know, I just think that there's so much potential there. I've been really excited to play this game. It was really hard when we finally learned that the Wii U version wasn't going to be releasing alongside everything else. I think that was kind of a huge mistake on Ubisoft's part, but hey, it is what it is. At least they always said, don't worry, we're still dedicated to making the Wii U version. So that made me feel okay about it. I was like, screw it. I want to get one of the other next-gen versions, but I'm just going to wait and get the Wii U version. And then, you know, not too long, I can't remember if it was right before or right after the release of May 27th of the other versions this year, that they said, we have now dedicated all of our efforts to the Wii U version. They had a whole Bucharest Ubisoft team and some other folks who worked on the other next-gen versions ready to dedicate their time and effort to making the Wii U version, quote, the best it can possibly be. Literally, they have said that almost verbatim, that they are trying, they really believe in what they can do on the Wii U version as far as not only how it looks, which the game better goddamn look really good, comparatively at least, not only how it looks, but also how it's going to play and feel. You know, so, okay, I don't want to get into the negative stuff yet. I almost got into a rant. I'm going to wait. First, the positive, like I said, which is just the simple fact that, hey, after all of that, after everything happened, after the other 5 versions released, after they've told us they've put their whole team on the Wii U version to make it the best it can be, finally, we have confirmation that it is coming. It is coming this year. Like I said, November 18th here in the States, 21st in the UK. So I really can't wait. I know that the game got, I guess mediocre reviews isn't fair to say. It's got better, you know, higher than average scores, lots of 8s and 9s, which is really great. You know, people were waiting to see if it was going to be this new GTA Revolution kind of game, and 10 out of 10 and all these different high-profile sites, you know, GameSpot 10 out of 10, IGN 10 out of 10, and it wasn't that way. It was you know, 7s, 8s, and 9s, which is still very good. But in a lot of ways, there was also a muted response. You know, it was a much more divisive game than I think people were prepared for. You know, and let us also not forget that there was a lot of controversy about the game just period before it launched. Delays for all versions. You know, it was supposed to come out last Christmas, and it didn't get a chance to do that. So they delayed it to this year. Then there was this whole controversy about the graphics being downgraded, and, you know, is it less than what Ubisoft initially promised us at its 2011 E3 reveal, and this and that and the other. And so that was a whole different controversy, not even including the second delay for only the Wii U version of the game. So, you know, everyone had all these mixed reactions going into the game, and then it came out, and a lot of people do really love that game, but there's also some detractors. Some people who say it didn't live up to the hype, they didn't really like it, not their cup of tea, not a AAA quality kind of experience and all this stuff. So there's definitely been like a lot of back and forth, and that's very interesting. You know, I myself, despite all of that stuff, I still remain excited. I think that I know exactly what I'm going to get out of the game. And so that very concept of experiencing what the game is going to have to offer to me is kind of an interesting segue into some of the more interesting parts. And by interesting, I mean kind of frustrating and aggravating. So if I'm going to get into this, which again, you know, I don't typically like to get, you know, mad on my videos, but this is definitely a negative thing that I have to talk about. Ubisoft has made some really stupid decisions lately. We know their recent comments about, you know, not wanting to sell mature or hardcore titles in the Wii U anymore because they don't think people buy them. And then, you know, a lot of people started bringing up the fact that, hey, you've made a lot of really shitty last-gen ports. You don't give all the DLC. You get crappy frame rates. The games don't look as good as they should. The Wii U has much more power than what you've been tapping into. And, you know, I agree with that. I've played the Assassin's Creed games on the Wii U. But here's what I will say. I played this Splinter Cell on the Wii U, the most recent one. I think Blacklist is what it was called. I actually bought that game. And while I will say that the graphics were not very good, and the frame rate was pretty terrible, apparently it was that way for all versions. And what I will say is they did a damn fine job with the gamepad. So the one thing I'm going to do is give them credit for that. Not to mention Rayman Legends, which was initial. This is another problem that they've had. You know, Rayman Legends being initially exclusive and then not being that anymore. That is still the version I bought. That game, by the way, is almost a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. And the Wii U version, they killed it. They knocked it out of the park. You can tell that they were really inspired by the gamepad, and they made some amazing experiences with that version. And they made it the true definitive version of the game, and a game that feels next-gen. It's a good example of a game not having to look next-gen to be next-gen. It feels next-gen because of what the controller allows you to do. It's a next-gen controller experience, and that is a quantifiable real thing. And Ubisoft showed that they actually had the vision at the time to do that, and they were probably pressured by other reasons to make it no longer exclusive. Really stupid on their part, but what are you going to do? The Wii U version was still the best-selling version and best-reviewed version, so that's okay in that respect. But other than that, yeah, Ubisoft hasn't been doing the right things. You know, they did release Zombie U, which is one of my favorite games of this entire generation so far. And they really should be working on a sequel, and apparently they're too afraid to do that because they don't want to release mature titles on the Wii U anymore because they're fucking stupid, basically. But, you know, so that stuff aside, you know, they've had these issues. And now we get to the Watch Dogs thing and how this ties into the, you know, the absurdity of those comments is we do have a version. This is where I'm a little bit nervous about this, even though I was previously just completely hyped for the game. Ever since all this hubbub about the boycott Ubisoft stuff has come out, it's making me look at the potential for Watch Dogs on the Wii U a little bit differently. So we know that they've had a problem releasing really bad last-gen ports of the 360 and PS3 versions of games, not games more in line with what the PS4 and Xbox One are capable of, which, let's be honest, that's really what the Wii U version should be. I know visually that the Wii U isn't going to be able to make the same kind of visuals quite on par with what those two systems can do, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean you take the shittier last-gen looking games and make those the Wii U version. No, that is not how you do it. You take the version, you make it as much in line, you tap as much of the potential of that version as you possibly can. So we know that that they've had this problem with last-gen ports, and we know that this game is releasing many, many months after the game is already released and other people have already bought it. And let us not forget that a lot of people, like I said a minute ago, didn't even really like it. So there's been a lot of discussion about how the game might not be as good as we initially thought. So those are some reasons why this game might not do that well. Honestly, I think that there's really not that good of a chance of it selling very well. And that's not going to be Nintendo's fault, the Wii U's fault, nor the gamer's fault for not buying this game or not liking or supporting it. And that's where we're going to get into the problem, the cyclical argument of Ubisoft saying, oh, people don't want to buy these mature games on the Wii U. But then all of us gamers saying, well, you're not making good decisions with the hardcore games you're putting on the Wii U. So, of course, we're not going to buy them. We're not going to buy them just because you make them. They need to be also good. They need to be of high quality. Don't port shitty last-gen versions and not include the DLC. Give us the best graphics you can possibly get out of this next-gen Wii U machine. Give us the DLC and release it on time just like we want for the other systems. Make sure the frame rate is up to par. And hey, you got a goddamn gamepad at your disposal. Use your creative vision and make that thing awesome. You have the ability to do it. Rayman Legends and Splinter Cell showed that's probably the part that hurts the most. Is honestly, Ubisoft, I have seen this from you. I've seen this from you in Rayman Legends and Splinter Cell. You have done amazing things with the gamepad in those games, and now here you have the goddamn tablet-related fucking hacking game that is Watch Dogs. Make it good. You've told us that's what you're doing. You need to deliver. So before I get too much more angry, again, I just kind of work myself into a frenzy here. And, I'm doing that based on a game that, to be fair, we haven't played. We haven't seen the Wii U version. Maybe they've done that. We should remind ourselves, and I'll even remind myself, that they did say they're working to make this the best version possible. So if that holds true, and they knock it out of the park with the gamepad on the Wii U version of Watch Dogs, awesome, bravo. You've done everything you're supposed to do, Ubisoft, and you're going to make me happy, somebody who was, willing to wait an extra 6 months, even though I have other options to play this game, willing to wait 6 months to buy the Wii U version, and you're going to get good review scores, and hopefully you're going to you might even, dare I say it, restore some gamers' faith in you, and right now you could really use that faith, so let's hope that you're doing the right thing. And so basically it's going to remain to be seen, but we know that they've said some of the right things in the past. I'm just hoping that they hold true to it. The problem is, as much as I want to say, oh yeah, they put the Bucharest team on and they've been, really proud to be dedicated to making the Wii version the best version possible. Once these other comments from Yves Guillemot came out a couple of weeks ago, it made me wonder if I can really trust that and if I can really believe you, Ubisoft. Can I believe you guys as a Wii U gamer and an everything gamer? I mean, I have now a PS4. I'm going to have an Xbox One soon. I game on my PC, my other last-gen consoles. I play everything, so I know my games. And, I'm a Wii U gamer. Can you earn my trust back? Can I believe you? Do all those things you said about the Wii U version actually hold true? Well, honestly, it sounds like in a couple of months, we're finally going to be able to judge your word and judge this Wii U version of the game and see if it's actually living up to what it's supposed to have been. And so let me touch on one more potentially negative thing before I wrap this thing up on one last positive note. I have another fear when it comes to this. I know I've expressed a couple the last couple of minutes, but another fear I have, still on this topic is basically, okay, so the first leak about this release date being revealed actually came yesterday, the day before the recording of this video, where there was the rumor or the leak of the Mexican release date, the release date for the game in Mexico. And there was some sort of statement, I don't have it pulled, I have the US release date article, but not the Mexico one, where they basically said something to the effect of use an integrated world map on the gamepad and yada, 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 and that's Watch Dogs on the Wii U with the gamepad. Now, with a lot of games, I think that the use of a map is wonderful, and I think that that is a huge benefit and a bonus to the gamepad. Do not get me wrong. I love it in games like Pikmin and in Call of Duty and Deus Ex and stuff like that, That stuff's great. But with Watch Dogs, that can't be the only thing that this thing does, especially with 6 months of extra development time. So I don't want to get mad before we know whether or not this is the truth, but just the idea that that could be the truth and that is going to be the primary function of the gamepad for Watch Dogs, let me tell you, Ubisoft, there will be riots in the streets. Even if I'm the only one rioting, I will be there with my own Molotov cocktail and a fucking sandwich board sign that says the end is near, Ubisoft is going down. I will be so pissed if that's what you do. If you have wasted my time as the Nintendo gamer and the one of a few people, willing and proud to wait for the Wii U version that you always promised us we're going to get, not just because to fucking do it, because we believed you said you can make that gamepad and the Wii U version everything it's supposed to be. The Wii U is actually the next-gen system that is tailor-made for your Watch Dogs hacking game. You need to deliver on that experience. You cannot just be the lazy bastards and put a fucking map on that gamepad and expect it to be the definitive Wii U experience, quote unquote. It doesn't work that way. You need to do something. You really need to have made this thing worthwhile. I don't want it to have been that I've been waiting 6 months just for nothing. I want more than just Watch Dogs on the Wii U. I want the best version of Watch Dogs. That is the reason I wanted to wait for it on the Wii U, because the Wii U should be the best version of Watch Dogs. And I know, some people have this really weird backwards idea in their head where the best version of the game is the best looking, and that is simply not the case. It absolutely is a factor, and sometimes the graphics can come down to the best or not best version. But with Watch Dogs and with the idea of being able to use the touchscreen gamepad in that game, I think that is what is going to be the determining factor of the best game, not the visuals. It is the control. It is the gamepad for the Wii U. So at the risk of repeating myself over and over again, which I feel like I've already done a couple of times in this video, that's what it comes down to. Ubisoft, don't you dare relegate the gamepad to just a goddamn motherfucking piece of shit map. I will be so unbelievably pissed. I will be hurt and offended and insulted that I wasted this whole time when I could have bought one of the other versions, you know? And okay, and that's the other thing. That's the last thing I should touch on before wrapping up the video is don't forget, you've had this problem with, hardcore games selling on the Wii U, and here you are with, your, definitive brand new IP that's been massively successful. DLC is on its way. We know that you're going to be making a Watch Dogs 2. Everyone and their mom knows that that's going to happen. And you released 5 of the 6 versions so many months ago, and now you're releasing the Wii U version many, many months later after a lot of controversy about a lot of people saying, hey, it's not actually that good. And if you actually make this a really shitty last-gen port or you completely blow it on the gamepad, you will have a 6 months game on next-gen tech using last-gen technology with a wasted gamepad and lots of review scores that are less than what we expected. There is no reason in hell you could ever expect that game to sell well if all of those things end up being true. And if they are true, and if that game doesn't sell well, you need to not, and I know you're going to do this anyway, you need to not say, well, see, that's just proof positive that Nintendo gamers don't buy our games. No, it's not that we don't buy your games. It's that we don't buy shitty games that are 6 months late. Your games and shitty games, well, maybe they are kind of the same, but they should be different. And I like you, Ubisoft. I really do. So I want to continue to be fans of you. I need this game to be good so I can A, have a really kick-ass Watch Dogs game on my Wii U, and B, continue to have faith in you despite some of the stupid decisions you made and the really shitty things you've said about my favorite company and my favorite console. I'm willing to still give you my faith and my loyalty, even though you haven't really deserved it yet. If you make Watch Dogs everything I think it should be, I'm still going to be on board, and I'm going to be happy to support you in your future endeavors and other games that you make that are good. I really don't like the idea of having to boycott a team that makes good games. But if you really blow this, you're gonna be on my shit list, and that's like actually hard to do. My shit list is not very long because I like a lot of things, but I will happily throw you on that list if you mess this up and you do the wrong things. And you cannot use all of these horrible business decisions that you've made with Watch Dogs on the Wii U as reason to say this is why we don't want to release our other games on Wii U. No one gives a shit about Just Dance. You can Just Dance that shit off of our platform. We don't want it. So we want our Assassin's Creeds, we want our Splinter Cells, we want our Raymans, we want our Watch Dogs. We want those, like in the future. So, at the end of the day, let me wrap up and get to the last positive thing now that I've ranted a couple of times here. At the end of the day, I'm glad this game is finally coming. So let me also say this. Thank you, Ubisoft. At least you're delivering on this one promise. The game didn't get canceled like some people wanted to think might initially happen when it was first announced as delayed only on the Wii U. I'm really glad that you stuck to your guns. I'm happy that I know that my Wii U version of Watch Dogs that I've been waiting for will finally be coming into my home in just a couple of months' time. This is what I've been waiting for. And despite my ranting and my anger in this video, I'm very excited. I'm quite excited because, like I said, I feel like I know what to expect out of Watch Dogs. I still think the game looks great, and I can't wait to play it. I want to play as Aiden Pierce. I want to hack the shit out of technology. I want to feel like I'm in the Matrix. I want to do whatever it is that Watch Dogs apparently lets you do. I've been waiting 6 months to do what everyone else has been doing this whole time, and I'm really glad that I'm finally going to be able to do it. So I should leave on the positive note. So thank you, Ubisoft. Despite some of the BS you've been talking about lately when it comes to the Wii U, thank you for still delivering Watch Dogs to the platform. I can't wait to do it. I hope the touchscreen and the gamepad is awesome, and I hope the game looks as good as it should and plays as good as it should. Like, I'm really, really excited for that. So, man, I'm almost out of breath because I had a lot of shit to say about Watch Dogs on the Wii U, but that's pretty much, those are my thoughts for today. Okay, that's it. I'm done for now. That was a long video. Lots to talk about on Watch Dogs. Like I said, really glad that it's coming. So thank you guys for tuning in and putting up with another long kind of ranty video from me. If you like what I'm doing and you've just discovered this, you should please like and subscribe to Rule of Two Review. Like and share the video and your comments and your thoughts below about Watch Dogs and even more specifically the Wii U version or even anything going on with Ubisoft right now. Also, please follow the links below to the Facebook page. I haven't talked about that in a while, but I do have a Rule of Two Review Facebook and a Twitter that that I'm fairly active on. And I'm going to start doing contests and stuff soon as I start hitting more subscriber milestones and stuff like that. So, and I like to get involved with conversation. So please definitely go down. If you guys have been following Rule of Two Review for a while and you haven't found the Facebook page or the Twitter, please go and do that. I love seeing that support, and it's a great way to be able to interact with you guys as I try to make the channel grow a little bit more. So yeah, that's it. Lots to talk about today. Thanks for tuning in, and I will of course catch you on the next video.